Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Mik'd Up. Today is Monday, September 8th. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. Saints almost pulled it off.
That's what you want to lead with?
Nope. I'm burying the lead. Saints lose on Sunday.
Chris Olave.
LSU.
You get a concussion.
LSU wins on Saturday, 23-7. Obviously not the sexiest win in the world. They dominated a lot of categories throughout the course of the game. Maybe did not have the points, the score that you had hoped if you're a fan. I know all of us kind of hoped it'd be a little bit bigger of a margin of victory so that you get some younger guys in, get some more playing time. Brian Kelly said as much in his press conference today, but that wasn't the case. But at the end of the day, they won 2-0 for the first time since 2019. They're going into Week 3 game at home against Florida, who they lost to last year on the road. Florida's coming off a big loss against USF this weekend. So they're gonna have LSU's gonna have to be on their P's and Q's.
Who could have called that?
What, did we
Maybe
not
this show.
Did we not talk about that? But LSU's gonna have to be on their P's and Q's this weekend. Obviously, Brian Kelly had a really good press conference. I didn't mind his press conference post game, and I didn't mind his press conference today. Going back and recapping the game, talking about the things they did well, talking about the things they needed to get better at. At the end of the day, the most important thing is getting a W. They lost a couple guys in the game to injury. According to Brian Kelly today, Braylon Moore's high ankle sprain is not classified as a high ankle sprain.
Not tightrope worthy.
They don't believe that it is tightrope worthy, so he is day-to-day questionable. He said he's going to be questionable now, potentially probable at the end of the week. Makes me feel like the ankle injury was definitely not as bad as first reported, which is good news for LSU. Trey'Dez Green on crutches, on a brace. Everybody assumed he was going to have it was an ACL. Brian Kelly comes out and says it's an MCL sprain. He's going to be out. He is also day-to-day and listed as questionable. It doesn't feel like it's as positive going into the weekend as Braylon Moore. We shall see. But seems like he avoided major injury and season-ending injury, which is always a positive. A lot of things to talk about from the game. We're going to have Bryce Koon on the show here in about 10 minutes to kind of recap some of the stuff that Brian Kelly has talked about, some of the players have talked about. He's been around the program, obviously doing a great job covering that 4-on-3. We, as a show, are going to talk a lot about the game, what went wrong, what went right, why did things go the way that they went, and what do we think issues were, or what do you think they can do to get better to fix those types of things. I think the most glaring thing that people were talking about that happened early in the game was Nussmeier coming up extremely underthrowing a deep ball by an extreme margin, which isn't really something that he does frequently. I don't know what the reason is, but we can talk about that. They obviously have not completed a ton of deep balls throughout the course of the year. Is that by design? Is that because they're not allowing him to throw it deep? Is it because something is wrong? I don't know. But those are conversations that we are going to have. Obviously, with the center out, offensive line was moving around. DJ Chester back in the game. Obviously started all the games last year, so he's experienced. Had some struggles as far as I think they had 8 tackles for loss and 3 sacks given up. Obviously happens, part of the game sometimes. You got to get that fixed. Cannot happen against Florida. Those are the things that we're going to talk about. This isn't the forum yet. We're not there in that conversation. It was just the headlines. Wide receiver rotation looked a little bit different than it did against Clemson. Nick Anderson scored his first touchdown at LSU.
Could have been anybody.
What?
There were multiple.
Oh, a bunch of people open. Yeah. Barry Brown looked really good. 9 catches, I believe. Or Aaron Anderson had 9 catches. I think Barry Brown had about 90 yards receiving. He looked really good. Looked really good kicking with the kickoff return at the end of the game. Xavier Thomas looked really good in the backfield. Barry Brown got some carries in the backfield. Harlan Berry looked good.
Xavier Thomas.
So I said Xavier Thomas.
Yeah.
Had some carries back there. Almost broke it, took it to the house. Big chunk play. I think they've had 3 or 4 of those in the last couple games. They hadn't had a bunch of those last year in the running game. And that's another conversation that we want to have. Brian Kelly highlighted that in his press conference. They're talking about, oh, you're not making all these big plays in the passing game. Well, he goes, well, we've made more bigger plays in the running game than we've had all of last year, and it seems like that's a point of emphasis on the team right now. It doesn't feel like they've really locked into like their offensive scheme yet. It feels like they were doing things against a lot Louisiana Tech to I don't want to say see what sticks because that's not the right term, but almost like experiment. Hey, let's run this formation. Let's put this guy there. Let's put this guy there. Let's see what works, what doesn't work. Let's see how it looks. And if there's a game to do that against, it is Louisiana Tech. I'm not saying that's what they did, but that's what it looked like from a fan's perspective in the stands. At the end of the day, they won the game. They're 2-0. They're still ranked number 3 in the country, and they're playing at home against their rival in Florida this weekend. Lloyd, you were not at the game.
I was for half of it.
You were at the game for a little bit. You had to work. You worked on Saturday.
Did pregame show, postgame show, recap
Hustling.
show.
Hustling, dude. Hustling.
Is this what, like, I don't want to. I did this to not have to really work.
But that's the worry. If you're not
working.
If you love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
Exactly. But I'd also like to finish. I'd like to be there. I'd like to have seen Harlan Berry get that carry.
I'd like to see a tailgate with us too.
That's not happening again.
We'll see.
Yeah, no.
We'll see. We'll see.
I own half the company too.
We'll see. We're also joined by our 2-time national champion, 1-time football, 1-time baseball, top 100 football recruit coming out of high school. Played quarterback right-handed, played outfield left-handed.
Has no respect for a center.
Jesus Christ, Lloyd. Joining us, co-host of the show, Jared Mitchell. Jay Mitch, welcome.
Wow, that's where you're going, Lloyd. Oh my God.
Group chat's popping.
Right. What?
I said the group chat was popping.
So they say.
So they say. Jared, you obviously weren't at the game. You watched the game from the comforts of your home. Give me your initial thoughts of what you saw on Saturday.
Solid dub, right? Like you got
not pretty,
win.
But
you were never really in question if they were gonna win or not. It wasn't super pretty. There was, some things that were not great, but I guess for me, when you watch a team like that and you don't see them like truly dominate, if you want to call it that, on offense, but then you look on the other side of the ball and they're just doing whatever they want with that offense, right? Like literally able to stop them however they want, held them to 10 points in the ball game. Like you feel good about it because that now gives you an opportunity for your offense to catch up, for your offense to kind of get going, and you don't have to necessarily put up 35 points a game to get wins. And we're watching them do this, honestly, on defense, and it's not like they're creating a ton of turnovers right now. So that also gives you kind of the thought process of, well, if those come as well, like where does it go? So good win, not an absolutely great win, but at the end of the day, it didn't matter if it was 63-0 or 22-21. Nobody's going to judge them at the end of the year about what they did against Louisiana Tech and or what they didn't do. You get the W, you move on, you find what you need to make better on film, and that's what you spend your week doing. So I'm fine with it.
Yeah, correct. And look, it's a win is a win is a win, right? You want to get through it. You want to get the dub. I agree with you. I think that was the most important thing. Was it pretty? No. Was it inefficient at times? Yes. Did the defense ball out? Yes. They did what you wanted to see from the defense to continue to progress from what they did against Clemson. They showed that. I think what the crazy thing about what the defense is doing over the first 2 games, now it's early in the season, small sample size, is they're not necessarily getting a ton of sacks, right? Which shows you how impressive the secondary is, and it shows you how impressive the tackling is because they're not giving up any yards, right? So they're not giving up the big plays, which – over the last couple years, that's all they give up was big chunk plays on the defensive side. They haven't done that, right? You haven't seen kind of a lull in concentration. They've been locked in every single play. They're running to the ball. They're doing the things that you want from an aggressive style defense, which is a positive, right? That, I think, is the highlight of the game. The receivers that have gotten in there, I think, also highlight the game. Now, there's a couple drops that you wish – Kyle Parker had some tough catches he could have made, dropped a couple balls that you felt like should have been caught. There are some other plays that should have been made. Had those plays been made, just 2 of them, 2 or 3 of those plays been made, the offense would have looked a lot different, right? But it wasn't crisp. It wasn't as good. They got dominated a little bit more. I say dominated. They got beat up front more than you wanted them to with the tackles for losses and having some negative plays and all of those types of things. But you know what? Like, those are things that they're going to look at, and they're going to point out this is why it happened, and they're going to get that fixed. I firmly believe that, because against a better defensive front seven the week before, that did not happen. So I think all in all, I think the important thing is they won. And if you looked around college football this past weekend, it was a weird day for college football. A lot of close games with teams that shouldn't be. I mean, Troy was beating Clemson 16-3 at halftime.
I was booing them.
Right? Not good for them. They ended up coming back and winning. South Carolina State gave South Carolina all they wanted in that game. That was tight for a little bit. Georgia only beat Austin Peay 28-6. That wasn't a blowout.
Austin Pete?
P.
I know. What's is this a person?
Yeah, right. Nobody knows that, right? 28-6. You had USF. Now, USF's a good – they're not – I wouldn't put them in the category of those other three teams that we just named.
Give them game day. Give them game day.
USF, now ranked in the top 25, goes and beats Florida. And that was a game that we talked about that would be very interesting because of how good they looked against Boise State, how aggressive their defense was, how tough their quarterback is. And it proved to be the difference in the game. 16-13, I believe, or 16-15. Was the final score, walk-off field goal to win that game. There are some other really Arizona State goes to Mississippi State, loses to Mississippi State on a crazy end of the game play.
Did you see their coach's presser?
I don't like their coach.
Oh. I thought you'd love him.
I don't know why I don't like him.
Because he breathes weird.
You just don't like him because he's as young as you and he's
he's more successful.
No. That has nothing to do with it. I don't know why. I don't know why. I should like him. Everything about him makes me, but I just don't know why I'm not a huge fan of him. He's a good coach.
You think he's a fraud?
Huh?
Fraud?
Do I think he's a fraud? I don't know about that. I'm not going to go that far to say that. I
liked everything he said.
I don't even think it's about what he said. I think it's how he said it. How
he breathes hard. And
I don't know.
He's congested.
There were some other weird games.
He's not an athlete. That's why you don't like him. He's too young to be that.
That has
fat.
Nothing to do with it either.
He's in bad shape.
I will say this. We did not hit our mic. We did not hit our mic'd up parlay. That was on me. Hand up. My bad.
Accountability.
Tulane did get the dub, but I thought they were going to cover the spread. They did not. I also tell you how crazy the betting. What is that? 2-2-2-0. Oh yeah, you're 2-0. I know. You've been money. And look, the bet you had this weekend, I wasn't 100% on it, but obviously I'm just listening to you from here on out. All right?
I'm about to quit.
But gambling's such a crazy deal, right? Because if you're watching the Syracuse-UConn game, I took Syracuse minus 6.5. You're watching that game, you're like, there's no way Syracuse wins that game. So I'm going through all my early morning bets. I'm like, the only game I'm going to lose is the Syracuse game. Kansas is beating Missouri. I'm like, I took Kansas plus 6.5. I feel really good about it.
Rat.
And then, the rat was SMU, which got me.
Mm-hmm. You called, but you saw.
I did. And here's the deal. They were up 14 points in the fourth quarter. I'm like, I'm watching that game with 7 minutes to go. I'm like, I'm going to win this game. I'm going to win the Kansas game. I'm going to lose the Syracuse game. Syracuse, out of all those games, no chance. They won. They covered. They won by 7 in overtime. Kansas shits themselves. Missouri comes back and beats them. And then SMU, for some reason, just decides that I'm not going to get a first down and just blow the game.
Let's get into a shootout.
Just blow the game.
That game was on drugs.
Ended up being could have been a really good weekend. Ended up being an average weekend. Ended up even money on the weekend. But gambling's a wild deal. My point in saying all of that, it was a weird weekend for college football with teams that probably shouldn't be in games, that were in games. And so I don't put too much stock into LSU only winning 23-7. They won the game. They dominated defensively. I'm good with it. Right now, they do need to work on things and make things better going into the weekend. But look, I think that's a good teaching point, right? That's what Brian Kelly said in his presser. Like if you learn about, you can't roll your eyes at that because every coach says that. Like if you're going to learn something, I'd rather win and learn it. But if you just say I'm learning it and you don't actually learn from it, then what are we doing? Type thing. So let's see if they learn from the mistakes that they made through the course of the weekend.
The only thing I've learned from the course of this weekend is why did we stop betting on Tommy Castellanos early? He did it for Boston College. He's doing it for Florida State. He's the Heisman frontrunner now.
You're right.
We know this. It's one we missed.
Also, and we should have done this. Now looking back at it,
Navy?
no, we should have hammered Oregon, and we knew it. After all the back and forth between Gundy and Dan Lanning and saying, oh, we're going to tape up the Nike. They're spending all this money. It's bullshit, this and that. And Dan Lanning firing back, you're like, man, I don't think they're going to take the they were winning 69-3 going into the fourth quarter. Then they took the foot off the gas and didn't score in the fourth quarter. Did the over hit, bet that one. But I should have put that in the parlay. I should have known. We should have known better.
We got takes out there. We got gambling out there.
No
We
doubt.
just got to put them all together.
Is Bryce in there?
Oh, let me check. Speaking of gambling,
Is he in there?
his baby is like 4-0.
We're a little late to the show. My bad, Bryce. Our producer's not producing over there.
That's not true. There he is. Like,
There he
I see
is.
you.
Welcome to the show on 3. Oh, he's
I've
muted.
been sitting
Oh, no,
here
he's
for
not.
10 minutes.
I know.
Whoa.
That's Lloyd's fault.
No,
That's my
it's not.
bad.
It's Mikey's
Well,
fault.
let me start off and say something real quick, Lloyd. Okay, so I thought Lloyd and I were friends. You know, I decided to say hello to him when others wouldn't at Clemson this back 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
No one else would talk to him. I saw him walking down the road, said hello to him. I text him after the show last week, Tuesday, said, hey man, got some family coming in town. Do you know anyone who has tickets? No response whatsoever from Lloyd.
Well, because I don't.
So,
You texted the wrong guy. Text me
I
next
can
time.
tell you that's where you went wrong at, honestly, because I don't think he knows what a text is.
Yeah.
yeah, just brutal. So
Bryce, it wasn't you.
I mean,
it
good
wasn't.
grief.
It wasn't me. It's the fact that if I can't help, what's better than a no response? I didn't want to hurt anybody.
Actually, Bryce, I'm
what's better than
trying
just
to
blowing somebody off.
exactly.
Yeah, you're
I'm
right.
trying to teach
is that
Lloyd.
what that is?
I'm trying to teach Lloyd. It's better to tell someone no than just not respond to him and just act like an asshole.
I'm bad at this. Apparently, I'm a sociopath.
Yeah, Lloyd's an asshole.
That's one way to put it.
But it's okay. You know who's not an asshole, Bryce? You. Because
That's
you
right.
joined our show
I
and you
appreciate
waited
it.
patiently before Lloyd even acknowledged that you were. He tried to ignore you again. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean,
It's unbelievable.
you know, there's a lot of other shows I could do from 6:10 to 6:35 every single Monday evening, but I'm just kidding.
No.
Hey, just give me your baby's picks and let's get on with it.
We appreciate you.
She's undefeated.
I know.
I know.
By the way.
I'm gonna start fading. I'm gonna start
Oh, you
tailing
start
her.
fading the baby?
I'm gonna start tailing her.
Oh, you're gonna tail the baby.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, doing good. She's doing good. 3-0 so far, 3 weeks.
She was over 60% last year too.
Yeah, she was. She really was.
Man.
And
Uh
picked a perfect. There you go.
There we go.
oh. Wow, I love that. I'm gonna start
hear me?
following the
Yep.
picks. Let's get into the game because I know we don't have you for as long as we wanted to because we kept you waiting. Obviously, and you heard us talking a little bit about this as the show was starting. Obviously, the game wasn't pretty. They obviously won. They dominated on the defensive side of the football. The offense wasn't pretty. It was clunky at times. They did move the ball down the field, didn't score touchdowns. There's probably 3 or 4 plays if you go back and they make those plays, the score looks a little bit different. 2 big injuries that happened, center and Braylon Moore, and Trey'Dez Green obviously go down. Trey'Dez Green's looked a little bit more serious than Braylon Moore's. Bunch of questions I just asked you. Let's start with the injury first. What is the injury report came out. What is your feeling on that? Lloyd is skeptical about. He doesn't trust the media. He doesn't trust what they say. So what is your feeling about the severity of both injuries?
I could have looked at Lloyd and told you he'd immediately there, so that makes sense.
Just don't belong.
No, in all seriousness, look, anytime you see a guy in crutches and the bulky ACL brace, you're really skeptical, and so I do agree with that. That's what we saw with Trey'Dez Green. I don't know who the photographer was, but a photographer kind of caught the picture, multiple pictures of Trey'Dez, coming out of the tunnel, had on ACL brace, crutches, not really trying to put a lot of weight on it. Brian Kelly comes out today, said they believe it's just a sprained MCL, which can be nagging and uncomfortable, and so they're gonna. I don't expect him to play this weekend. Like with his size, with how big he is, and what you want him to do. I mean, look, that's why you went and got Bauer Sharp, right? Because you want to be able to count on him. He's a good athlete. He was pretty good for you during fall camp. Donovan Green is able, I think, to really maybe help you in the blocking, which we can get to in a second, that you need, especially the run blocking. So don't get me wrong. I'm very curious to see what they do in the red zone, because I think they've been kind of getting bailed out for the first 2 weeks with just having a 6'7" tight end that can go box somebody out. So they're going to have to get creative there. But just those two guys in Green and Sharp, I feel like you can manage your way through until he comes back. Now, the question becomes, when can he come back, right? Sprained MCL. I'll be real with you. Like, I think that he will be back in terms of like feeling like himself, probably the South Carolina game. And that's what, 5 weeks from today? Like that's the bye week. 4 or 5 weeks, yeah, you get a bye week built in. That's probably like getting as close to back. A lot of people want to say, hey, look, you have to sit this game out. Can we get you back for the Ole Miss game in Oxford? And to me, I think it's one of those things where if he can play, awesome, but you've got to keep in mind the full gauntlet of the season that you have, and you just can't run him out there and risk worse injury. So that's kind of that sprained MCL of what he has. And then Braylon Moore, who goes down to the first offensive play of the game for LSU. Yep. And you insert DJ Chester. I know a lot of people have their feelings about that in general. Moore, to me, is the most important, key to all of this because of what he did for you in that Week 1 game against Clemson. I wrote about it. I think I talked about it with you guys last week or 2 weeks ago. He's a guy that settles everything down. And Chester struggled. I think PFF had him as the worst graded center in the SEC last year. It's a new year. I understand that. It's a concern, especially heading into a game against Florida where I know they just lost to USF. They did not look good. I'll say the same thing, like I said, against Clemson, though. They've got some good individual talent up front. Like, if Caleb Banks is healthy and playing, that's a concern. I'd rather have Braylon Moore there at center than DJ Chester with the guards kind of struggling like they have. So it's not just Moore, though. The right side of the offensive line was a concern. I didn't think Weston Davis had a great game by any means. I think Josh Thompson got pushed around a little bit, too. So Braylon Moore helped out in terms of the communication aspect. That's where you have to hope that DJ Chester can improve upon last year. So if Moore can't go this week, it makes things a little more interesting. What's the line at? Is it 9.5 still?
Well, it started off at 9.5. I don't know if it's still at 9.5.
Okay.
Is it?
As we get, because something to note too, this is the first week that LSU has to issue those, conference mandated injury reports. So you're going to start to see the Vegas and the betting odds shift as we get down, really to, I guess the first one's Wednesday, and then Thursday when we talk to Kelly, and then that, Friday, and then that Saturday morning, obviously, he's going to see some line shift in that. So I'd imagine if Braylon Moore is, at any point doubtful, you're going to see that line shift maybe closer to, and it might already have, I don't know, closer to an 8.5, 7.5, maybe even get down to 6.5, just because he's that important for what you need to do. And you struggled running the football pretty much the whole night last Saturday, and so I know you guys will probably talk about that, but just those two injuries, they're key, they're important. You got to get Trey'Nez Green back healthy because you need him for a stretch run when you get to mid to late October and November, and so if you can build him back up and you can find ways to utilize Bauer Sharp and Donovan Green and those other weapons you have, I'm not saying you're not going to miss him, but you can make do without Trey'Nez Green right now, you would hope, with all the talent you brought in. But Braylon Moore is the bigger concern for me.
So we're talking about the offensive line. I want to talk a little bit more about the offense as a whole. Obviously, the offensive line directly reflects the tackles for losses and sacks giving up against Louisiana Tech. But the offense in general, like they had some plays made, they missed some plays. It was a little bit clunky. It felt like, at least from my perspective, and other people that I watched the game, it just felt like LSU was trying to do a lot of things different, just to see like, hey, can this work maybe later on in the year? Let's try it in gameplay and before we get to the SEC play. Did you get that same feeling? And the other question I want to ask is, I've never seen Nussmeier underthrow a deep ball as much as he did that first deep ball. He hasn't been very accurate with balls down the field. Intermediate game has been great. Is there something maybe nagging with him, or is it just one of those things where ball came out of his hand a little wonky and just going to chalk it up to that?
So going with the Nussmeier thing, just didn't look decisive to me in that game, which was weird because what he ended the Clemson game and everyone was like, hey, that's the best quarterback in the country.
Right.
Like any YouTube pundit, any quarterback pundit was like, the way he ended, I believe he ended that game 11 of 11, surgical with some of the throws he made. And look, he had some good throws and looked good. And Kelly kind of downplayed that notion today that there was an issue. I think it was just a decisiveness thing, maybe a lack of focus. I don't know. Look, you can't have that. I'm not excusing the fact that, if you're going to be the Heisman, you're the number one pick, you don't need moments like that. So if your standard is here, which Kelly has continued to say, you can't afford those opportunities because that's not who you're supposed to be. You don't get to just flip the light switch on whenever you want. And I'm not saying he did that, but it's just one of those things. Going back to, and I'm sorry, what was the first part of that question?
The first part was more about the offense and kind of the scheme and how it felt like they were doing a bunch of things that was a little bit different. It just felt like they were trying different things against a team that they felt like they could try it against and see if it maybe would work later on in the year. I don't know. That's what it felt like.
Yeah, we debated this on our Bengal Tiger pod last night. And myself, Matthew, Bernie, Shea Dixon, we talked about this because, there was a sense of everyone saying, okay, this is the roller coaster of emotions that you go through, right? You build up all this momentum to be 1-0, go beat Clemson, win the season opener, and then you come back, and no disrespect to the folks in Ruston, you're playing Louisiana Tech. So it's just one of those things where it's like, can you still get the mojo going for a game like that? Now, I sit in the camp of if you're truly an elite team, you can. You don't have to be motivated to do that. I understand that may not be realistic for everybody, and that's why when we say the word elite, because it gets thrown out there for everybody, we've got to be real about it. There's very few teams that can do that. I'm not saying LSU can't. They just didn't this past weekend. But to your point, I think LSU knows what they have in their wide receiver room. Let's just get that out of the way. Like between Berrien Brown, Aaron Anderson, and Xavier Thomas, you're going to be able to run some creative things, extensions of the run game with a pop pass, utilizing those guys in the backfield. This wasn't a game to kind of know what you needed to do. I think to a point, you're right, where, like it or not, they played with their food a little bit to see what would work and what wouldn't work. They felt confident they'd win this game. Well, why? Because this defense is really, really good. Yeah. I mean, Louisiana Tech didn't really sustain any type of drive until that last one where they scored the touchdown. That was against the second unit. They probably never should have scored because Ashton Stamps dropped the easiest interception that he will ever get a chance to pick off in his life. So just saying that, I think there was just this confidence like, hey, this defense is going to absolutely overwhelm an offense that we don't think is very good. Let's just play around. Now, you can be the fan in section 427 and say, I hate that. I don't like that. I want to go beat them 62-3. And that's, I understand that. And to a certain extent, if I'm the media, if I was an AP voter today and they went out and did that, you'd be like, okay, you're probably garnering some more number one spot votes. But to an extent and to a point, I understand utilizing this to see what works. You spent all of August trying to go against each other to see what works. Well, this is a chance to do it against someone else who doesn't know what you're trying to do. They don't know the formation. They don't immediately recognize this stuff. And so I get it. I never liked playing too cute. Kelly even kind of downplayed the notion of like where he didn't really feel like the game was in doubt at any point. And look, I'd agree. I don't think it was really ever in doubt. Just that mentality, you can't carry that into another game this season. Now, in 2 weeks, you probably can, maybe against Western Kentucky at the end of the season. But I just don't like creating a habit of flipping a switch and turning it on and off when you need to. I guess I come from the camp where I just want that switch to be on. I want to have to tell you to hold off and calm down a little bit more than anything. So I understand it, but maybe it's just my line of thinking.
Jared, you got one?
Oh, of course. So, you speak about playing with your food, if you will. I guess we can talk about a 5-star meal that they got on the defensive side of the ball. I don't have a snap counter in front of me, but it seemed to be that he got more burn, and especially got more burn in third down situations. DJ Pickett, early on, it seems like they are even getting him into play and getting him out there more early and often. Do you see that becoming a starting spot very soon, or is there any kind of talk about the plan and difference of how maybe we perceived it to be to start the year and where it is today?
I go back to the Clemson game, and he had one play specifically that I remember where you saw the flashes. And look, we had seen it through fall camp, but it was a play where Bernard Gooden's kind of pushing Cade Klubnik with his speed from the interior, which was ridiculous, out wide. And Klubnik has to get rid of the football on the run to his near side, and he's trying to throw it around 6'5" DJ Pickett. And I think we talked about this last week. Jared, to your point, like, he's going to start. Like, he's going to be your starter. And I think P.J. Woodland is a heck of a corner. Like, I think he is really good. I don't think Woodland's going to give that job up easily. And you're going to have 3 bona fide SEC starters, 4 if you want to include Ashton Stamps, and only 2 of them can be on the field. Pickett, it's all about the speed of the game from just talking with people. He just needs the reps at this level. And I think this weekend's another great example. And it's kind of why I like the way LSU's schedule matches up, to be honest with you. You got the high-profile game on the road against Clemson. You come back, you play Louisiana Tech. Another high-profile game against Florida, Southeastern. High-profile game at Ole Miss bye week. So when you roll into South Carolina, you're young guys, and DJ Pickett's at the forefront of this. Harlan Berry's another one for me. They've had 3 opportunities to play against high-level SEC competition, to where now, we always talk about this, right? Once you play enough games, you're no longer really green. You're not a true freshman anymore. I think LSU, the schedule affords the opportunity to have the learning opportunity, and then let's implement against the lesser teams. Learning opportunity and implement. So I like that, and I think by the time you get to South Carolina, Pickett could be your starter opposite Mansour Delane, because Delane's not giving it up. I'll tell you that. That kid is unbelievable on the outside. So I love where Pickett is. I love the way he's developing. I'll say this. Delane told us this last week, and then he talked a little bit about post-game of the Clemson game. He said when he got here, this is nuts to me. You got to go watch, like, I guess, the YouTube highlights of some corners that you love watching growing up or whatever. He said at 6'5", you shouldn't be able to move like he does. That's the freaky part about it. He's fast. He's not stiff in his hips. Like, he can rotate really, really well, has great awareness. And it's not just the awareness, the body follows. And he said at his size, like, he goes, I've been playing football for a long time. I've never seen that. Like, so when you get it out of a guy who, was an all-ACC performer at Virginia Tech, had a chance to be maybe a day 2, day 3 pick, decides to come to LSU and has balled out for 2 games, when you get that kind of compliment, you've been on campus for 6 months and you've played a total of, let's just round it up, maybe 45 snaps.
Right.
That's impressive. So, long-winded answer, I think that he's going to work his way into the rotation. I love the way they're utilizing him. And I said this, I think, preseason with you guys. You didn't have to play him. Now you get the chance to play him.
Right.
He's not having to play. He's earning that right and earning that opportunity.
Bryce, I want to ask you, this is Lloyd's favorite question. Do we have a kicking problem?
What? I love Diddy. Football is life.
I mean, Lloyd's been harping on the kicking issue for like 4 years. We thought we fixed it.
I will say this. Okay, this
great
is
timeout. Best timeout of Brian Kelly's career.
Oh, yeah, great timeout by Brian Kelly. Come up short, and then he nailed it. No, he missed it again.
Yeah.
No, he missed the first one, made the second
That's
one,
right.
made the third one. The second one didn't count.
Yeah. I will say this. Damian Ramos has been good for you, and there's a certain aspect of honoring what he's done, and he's been good for you. But when you've got a 50-something yarder, guys, like, I understand it's different when you're kicking pregame and, there's not a lot of buzz. There is buzz, but everyone's not focused on you, and you're booting it from 57 yards. Aaron Burrell has a leg.
Yeah.
Like, and I've made the joke constantly through fall camp. So is it journalistic, appropriate or not? Aaron Burrell has to be the most bored person I've ever seen in practice. Because he just kicks, and like, kickers have to be bored to begin with. He just kicks, but he also kind of knows there's really not an opportunity except for as a kickoff specialist right now for him. If you're getting past, I'll just say this, if you're getting past the 47-yard mark, and I know Ramos hit his career high 2 weeks ago, all power to him. At some point, if you're going in the wind, whatever, you've got to give him an opportunity, because he has a cannon of a right leg. Like, it's ridiculous.
He tried to kick it off the front line guy to get an onside kick, I saw.
Oh, God. What? Can I get an exit
Where's my
velo on
bitch?
that, please? I mean, that ball was torched that he kicked. So, all that to say, man, do we have a kicking problem? No.
That was just for Lloyd.
So I just think that there needs to be a little bit of open mind about what Burrell can do. I will say this, because we may not talk a lot about this. Your new punter changes so much for you. That kid, he can boom it, and it's a weapon LSU has not had since Brian Kelly's been here, in terms of the guy that can flip the field and set your defense up. With how good your defense is, you're going to have your opponent something multiple times this season starting within their 20, and man, going 80-plus yards against this defense, you're going to have to earn every yard.
Yeah, Mikie spoke for me illy, because it wasn't Damian Ramos in the kicking game. It was the punting game that I was concerned with. I was in the camp of Badger being able to take some smacks, but Chadwick has been unbelievable in the ability of them. They've missed on something they could have down inside the 5. Like, he's been unbelievable. But when you look back at some of the offensive, like, this is an easy thing to point to, but I do want to get your perspective. As soon as Braylon Moore goes down, you see the run game change. Is it as easy as pointing to a center, which Jared Mitchell doesn't want to do? But is that something that makes it that much of an issue where – because you saw him get to the second level very quickly. You saw it, like, that's how he got hurt. He got off his block as the first run of the game. You get 6 yards, and then he's out, and then you can't run the football at all.
Are you asking me to pinpoint the rushing troubles on just one on the center? Is that what you're asking?
I'm just saying how much he controls of that run game and how much the stark difference between DJ Chester coming in versus Braylon Moore playing.
Braylon Moore's good. I don't want to negate what he brings to the table, so I don't want to say that he's a good football player. I think fully healthy, he's got a chance to be on one of those first, second, or third All SEC teams at center. He's a good football player.
I like where you're going here, bro.
The inability. What'd you say?
I like where you're going here.
Okay, well, because seriously, I want to give him his credit. I think he's a good football player. I don't want to take anything away from him. The inability to run the football, though, is way beyond him. Now, does he help you get there?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't ever want to speak ill of players. He has a general understanding of what he's looking at center to be able to make calls and stuff like that. You didn't have that last year in DJ Chester.
It's experience versus inexperience. It's not shaded at anyone.
Yeah. So he just had the experience. I'm going to be, whether it's scheme, whether it is want to, I genuinely don't know. Like, at some point, you've got to be able to put your hand in the ground and just blow somebody off the ball. And they cannot do that against lesser competition. And they didn't do it at all last year. They kind of did it at times, in some games. So to pin it just on the fact that you're not going to have your starting center, no. The run game was a concern if Braylon Moore is playing still, for me. It's not just the fact that he's gone. Now, the fact that he's gone it hurts it to an extent, but I wouldn't pin it all on just that switch, what you're going to have. I think it's a general problem. I think your guard play is less than desirable in terms of being able to run the football. And I don't think your tackles, Tyree Adams is good. Weston Davis, I'm not saying anything anybody doesn't know. You go watch the game, any casual observer, had a bad game. Across the board, they're just not generating push. There's no angles. So you're lucky that Caden Durham's a really good athlete and can make one guy miss off the line and then create for himself. But by God, wouldn't he like to have 2 or 3 yards to be able to do something beyond the line of scrimmage? And same goes for Xavier Thomas. That's why you're trying to get creative. So I don't know.
Well, let me ask you this.
That'd be a film deep dive to really look at, I guess.
Let me ask you this. With that conversation about the guard play being subpar and not getting a push, the thing that we heard about Carius Kern coming out of camp is he was extremely physical, extremely strong, and he was getting a lot of push, specifically in the run game. Could that mean we see a little bit more of him in the guard position?
Yeah, but you don't have a backup tackle. Yeah. And that's the problem.
So then could you see him taking over for Weston Davis?
Yes.
Okay.
Eventually, yes.
Yeah.
I think middle of the season you could see it. If not, if Weston Davis, I know it's playing hypotheticals, people hate to do that. If Weston Davis doesn't have a good game this week, but you squeak out a win, or even if you lose, you can't keep doing the same thing over and over again if you've got an option there.
Yeah.
There's nobody else walking through that door. You don't have a bona fide tackle option that can start in the SEC right now other than Carius Kern. So what did we see against Clemson, right? Tyree Adams goes down, DJ Chester slots out there. And everyone's losing their minds like, what is this? So if Braylon Moore's out, Chester's not available. So Carius Kern is immediately almost your swing tackle at this point where you've got bodies back there.
Yeah.
They're not viable, playable depth at this point right now in this season. So, man, I'd love to slot him in at guard, to be honest with you. Now, I want to say this. The left side of the offensive line was okay. Palma being settled in, he looked better. The right side concerns me. And I will say this, too. The conversation then has to become, which a lot of people haven't talked about this since he got on campus, Josh Thompson has played some tackle. Absolute worst case scenario, do you have to slot him out there? I wouldn't love it in terms of the SEC speed you're going to have to face. I don't know what you do to generate that. I've been saying since Carius Kernan got on campus and just talking to people who saw him lift weights and saw him go through the off-season training and then into fall camp, and when we got to see him, at the very least, that kid should be able to get down in a stance and maul somebody. Like, at the very least. Look, I didn't play football at a high level, so I don't want to speak and someone say, well, you never played the game. Don't pull a Ryan Clark on me. But it's just one of those things where – I'm feeling good tonight. So.
No, I love that. I love that. Listen.
Oh, man.
But to me, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong, I feel like as an offensive lineman, a young one, being able to put your hand in the ground and know the center and I are combo blocking this D tackle, this 3-tech up to this linebacker is a much simpler process to understand than the pass block techniques that are required at the college level and what you're facing in veterans who understand pass rush moves.
Yeah.
And also, too, for a guy like Carius Kernan who's uber athletic, minimizing the space in between him and his defender. When he pass sets at right tackle, there's some dudes like this weekend, Tyreek Sapp is a dude for Florida. He's there's some stuff, I love Carius Kernan, that he's never seen. So if you put him out there in Weston Davis to an extent. So that's a long-winded way of saying this. Kern has to be an option out there, but I don't know if he's an option at guard because
you need him at tackle.
Then the question becomes, well, is Weston Davis going to get better? Is this just a blip or is this a trend? And unfortunately, we're in this weird spot of the season where we don't have enough data to really make a educated statement, I guess, but we do have enough to fire off hot takes to that point. So that's where I sit with that.
Bryce, Jared's got one more for you, and then we're going to let you go. Sorry for keeping you a little longer.
You're good. I see he's excited to ask this.
Yeah, no. I got a little one. We talked about, if we're going to sit here and talk about the offensive line, we got a little taste finally of Harlem Berry. Obviously, he's a slighter stature guy. Do you see him being able to mix in more, even though you have all of these kind of scat back guys who are getting creative touches in the backfield to be able to kind of, I guess, spell Caden Durham a little bit? Or do you see him having to kind of wait his turn unless something unfortunate happens going forward?
If he does not get more than 5 snaps against Florida this weekend, I think it's malpractice. I don't think you're utilizing the full extent of your offense. I don't understand. Look, I get it that you have to be able to block. You've got to be able to do all these different things. Put the kid on a Texas route. Put him on an angle route. Put him in the flat. He's dynamic out of the backfield in the passing game. He's dynamic with the ball in his hands. He earned the right to be able to get some more touches. And, Brian Kelly spoke, I guess, kind of.
He pretty much said it without saying it.
Yeah. Question directly, like, it's warranted a conversation. And I don't want to quote him verbatim, but I think that was along the lines of what he said. That conversation better be. Yeah, he's going to play.
Yeah, what packages are we putting in?
Like, look, all due respect, I'm not trying to come on people's shows and down players. Caden Durham is your number one back. Xavier Thomas can be utilized. Caleb Jackson does not have a role in this offense right now, and I don't know what that looks like. I do not know. I don't think you can keep experimenting with that and hoping something happens because you're getting into some games where the margin of error is going to get a little more thin. You could do that against the La Techs, the Southeasterns, the Western Kentuckys. I don't think you can do it when you play Florida this weekend. I don't think you can afford to do that on the road against Ole Miss, at home against South Carolina because, like I said, that margin of error decreases significantly. So just in general, I think he has to play more. I think he needs to. I think he's earned the right. Look, guys, you saw that big play where he just –
yeah.
He's got that it factor. Now, to your point, Jared, he's a little slighter. He needs to put on some weight. Next year, probably where you're going to be able to utilize him more in between the tackles. He's earned the right for you to draw up 4-5 plays to go to him a game and make him the focal point of that specific play, in my opinion.
Yeah,
like I said, I didn't play football, so what would I know?
Don't do that. Don't do that. But just to add to it, I'm with you on that. I think there's something to watching someone like him. He breaks a tackle, and then it becomes showtime at that point, right? And that's where I think like you see someone with that kind of juice. It's like, how do we keep finding a way to get him the ball out of the backfield or manufacturing touches for him?
Yes, I totally agree because look, we saw it in fall camp. Like, it's one of those things where I don't care what it looks like. Dump it to him in the flat. The odds are he's going to make a guy miss. And then after that, like you said, it's open season for him. Now, he's the hunter, and he's got the football. Like, he's that type of guy. He seeks out opportunities to make you look bad. Now he's not going to run you over, but he's going to leave you in the dust a couple of times. So I like what he brings to the table. I think he's a compliment to Caden Durham, who has incredible balance, really low center of gravity. I've said this, guys, and obviously me being a guy from the state of Georgia, watch this guy play. I'm not comparing what they're going to be able to do, but just in terms of the stature and like how they play.
I know where you're going with this.
Caden Durham reminds me a little bit of Nick Chubb, like with the way that he just maintains his balance. It's really good. Like, he just doesn't get off kiltered a lot, and so that's a guy who can break it outside, can break it between tackles, break some tackles. You need that second punch of the guy who's maybe a little more shifty. And look, Georgia had that 2017 season with Sonny Michel. So
yeah.
I know LSU fans. They're used to having some explosive backs, and Harlem Berry can benefit, and this team, I think, can benefit from him getting more opportunities. And like I said, plays that are designed specifically for him to showcase what he's best at right now. That's the biggest thing. Don't try to fit him into something he's not. Don't try to put him, 5 times right up the middle on the goal line.
Right.
Like, what in God's name was that play call after he gets the big play and we're going to run Harlem Berry up the middle? I mean, I don't know what that was.
They're trying to get a touchdown.
It is what it is.
Yeah, and look, I agree with you. And look, this time last year, Game 3 was when Caden Durham
It's a South Carolina game, wasn't it?
Yep,
Yeah, on the
got
road,
his
he went and broke out.
got his big opportunity, and he broke out. And so, it's going to be interesting to see because, he is electric. When he touched the ball, I think, 5 carries for 50-some yards. Like,
He's Reggie.
Well,
Put him in 25. Put him in 5.
That's the style of running back. You can't call him Reggie Bush. He's one of the all-time greatest generational guys in the history of college football.
I'm just saying he has one comp.
100%. Like, that is his style of football for sure. And he's that electric, and hopefully he could be Reggie Bush. That'd be amazing. I would love to see
Got
that.
a little Joe McKnight in him, right?
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. It's a good one. Bryce, we appreciate you, dude, as always, coming on Monday. I promise next Monday we're not going to keep you waiting. We'll get you here right on time.
I appreciate it. And luckily my boys bought tickets for this weekend, so we don't need to try to reach out to Lloyd.
Well, just look, you have my number. Just text me. I'll at least tell you if I can or can't.
Bryce, I can't even get credentialed. So.
Well,
that's because they know you don't answer the phone, Lloyd.
Why are we going to – this guy's just going to waste a seat in the press box. What are we doing?
That's true.
That's a very good point. He just wants the parking pass and the on-field pass.
There you go. Exactly.
All right, dude.
Appreciate you fellas as always.
Yep.
Hopefully we're sitting here next week talking about a big win.
No doubt. Enjoy your night.
3-0 to 1-0.
Appreciate
1-0 every week. The fuck can I help on tickets?
I mean, look, just you have to respond to the guy. Say, hey, I'm sorry. Maybe call someone else or maybe text this person. He may be able to help you.
It was one of those
Some
that
guidance.
slipped through the cracks.
No, you definitely read it.
Yeah.
You definitely read it.
Goddamn good.
You definitely read it. You said, what am I going to do? And then you just ignored it.
No, I got busy. I got work.
Oh, boy.
I mean,
You're a busy guy.
This is, big busy guy. Shout out Jordy Collada. 7 shows in 3 days. It's tough to look at the phone.
You're working hard. You're working hard.
Well, you're not doing yourself any favors right now. I just want to, I hope you know that, right?
I don't like that this is
like you're sitting here on a live show telling people that I'm pretty shitty at answering my phone and being responsive to people right now.
Lloyd, let me ask you this. Do you have snap counts for the game by any chance?
I can, yes.
Like, did DJ Pickett start? Or did he just play a majority of the game?
I don't really know.
Me either, because I looked at
this.
Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I was about to say that position, man. Like a lot of the start conversation because of how many teams play like 3 and 4 receivers and move it out. I don't really think that means shit at that position these days. Even the same thing on the other side of receiver, kind of. Like I guess we kind of really need to know who's 1 and 2. But like as far as for start now at that position on that side of it. Depending on who's playing receiver on the other side of it, like to me, that's kind of I don't know about it. I don't
Correct.
Know about that.
And I guess my question is, was he on the outside, the other outside corner, opposite of Mansour Lane? I don't know. I just know every time I look down, 3 was on the field, and so I don't know what his snap count was. That's why I asked for the snap count. Because I feel every time I look down there, he was out there.
I don't know where you get a snap count from.
I don't know either. I don't know if
I'm looking at the game notes and I'm looking at.
They're not going to have that on the game
score.
notes. Yeah, but regardless, he looks really good. Obviously, he's going to continue to get some playing time. It's nice when you have 3 or 4 or 5 cornerbacks that you feel comfortable going there. We've talked about that a lot.
The defense is so real.
Defense is good. They're real, and look that helps a lot. That helps cover up a lot of potential issues that you may have because it's always going to keep you in the game. And I do believe our offense is going to be fine. I do believe the offense is going to be clicking, and they're going to start figuring it out. They just got to figure it out. They need some snaps together. They need some games together, and they got to get in a rhythm. And I do believe that is going to be the case.
I agree. If there was anything that was, I guess, troubling for me is watching, and I really don't think it's an injury thing. Maybe he's not super confident with it yet, but watching Nuss miss the long ball, there was another deep crossing route heading into the same south end zone, I believe. It took him a long time, and this was after he threw the interception. It took him a long time to finally say, all right, I'm going to let it go. It's almost like he was trying to let him get past defenders. These guys were playing way under this route. So he could have easily let this ball go a lot earlier and led, and he by a large margin.
You're good.
What was that?
You're good. Got a little.
Okay.
AI.
Yeah. Well, when he threw it, he overthrew it by a pretty large margin. And I was like, all right. I never really seen him that hesitant in those situations. And he has no problem throwing it hard. He has no problem throwing with anticipation, even when he's trying to fit with a little bit of touch. That's my first time seeing him not very good with the deep ball or not very good with literally letting go and playing with a ton of anticipation. Because for where that throw was, the over route that he was actually throwing, it played like a deep ball. It didn't play like a fitted in or later. It played like a deep ball. And to watch him kind of hold, and then finally throw, knowing that he's past that last defender and then to overthrow him the way he did, I've never really seen him do that. So if there's anything that kind of gave me any kind of hesitation, it was that was weird because I haven't seen him do that yet. But the rest of it, whatever.
Correct. And the reason why I brought up the initial deep ball is because it was so, just uncharacteristic of stuff that, especially because he was open from the jump.
That's one you overthrow.
And so, it was just uncharacteristic for him to, one, wait for as long as he did, and two, not only did he underthrow him, but he underthrew him on the inside of the field. It was just a weird, not something he normally does. That's why I opposed it. I think he's fine. I just think that it was just one of those weird, just one of those weird throws.
This is his passing chart from the Louisiana Tech game. You're starting to see where he's kind of living and thriving.
Yeah, look, it wasn't awful, right? Here's the deal.
2 of 7 on
passes 20-plus yards down the field are always going to be less completion percentage. You're not going to complete them at as high of a rate as you are the intermediate and the shorter routes, right?
They didn't dial up 7 shots against Clemson. You can see what they were trying to do.
Yeah,
With Nick Anderson on the field, Chris Hilton on the field, they wanted to get this part of the football game established and put up numbers against, put Tech away early because of how they play defense and what they do defensively, where they bring 5, 6, 7 guys. That's what they did against Southeastern, and they were able to pitch a shutout.
Yeah, and look,
this is how you break that pressure.
He completes that first pass down the field. The game, everybody's talking differently.
You're leaving after the first quarter.
You know what I mean? But it didn't happen, and that's the way it works. I posed the question just to have the question. I do not think that he is injured or anything's wrong. It's just one of those things that it was just uncharacteristic for me to see him do that. Good to see Nick Anderson get in the end zone, though.
Definitely good to see that.
Yeah.
He's a lot of big body, too, and, I think a lot of what they do with Tradez in the pass game right now, especially when he's obviously flexed out, for as long as Tradez is kind of down, if you will, and Nick's going to play a lot of the outside spot, but I think they would be able to kind of move him into that spot and let him take some of those reps as well. So I feel good, even though Tradez is down. You want him back in the game, you want him healthy. That's someone you're going to need going forward, and someone he's such a matchup advantage, and nobody wants to see him. Nobody has the size, nobody has the ability to get up that he does in terms of being able to cover him. So you obviously want him in the game, but I think Nick Anderson will be able to give you ample playing time in those roles, in those spots, or however they choose to use the vertical pass and or the jump ball game, if you will.
Question.
Yes.
You saw some of this last year where LSU gets into the red zone and struggles. Obviously, Tradez Green was the answer to that question. He's out the game. You kick 5 field goals, make 4, 2 with inside 25 yards. You've seen LSU struggle in the red zone. Is that still a problem in your mind whenever you're trying to? And you've seen Brian Kelly try to alleviate that by going for it. Obviously, it didn't work. You take the points against a team like Louisiana Tech because you know you have a good feeling you're going to win. But going forward, how do you kind of alleviate that situation?
Score touchdowns.
I know, but how? If you can't run the football, which it feels like they couldn't.
That's the $1 million question. I mean, I
just don't. I get what you guys are trying to say, but you're also sitting here. Look, we haven't said this much.
Threw it 41 times.
We keep talking about, I guess, even Bryce just brought him up and kind of mentioned who he reminds him of. Look, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. At the end of the day, defenders, when they're looking into the backfield and they look at Caden Durham, they're not looking at a Nick Chubb body style. He's not built like that, right? And so with that being said, I think a lot of what we're sitting here looking is like, all right, I think and obviously he's not as short, but I think his body style reminds me more of CEH. It reminds me more of Clyde Edwards-Helaire, right? And so when I watch him run, I think sometimes we're expecting him to be able to, not saying he can't run in between the tackles, but to break 2 to 3 tackles in the hole and keep going. Yeah, you would love to see these holes open up more and be more, but at the end of the day, when I watch him, unless we're going to really open up those holes, I don't expect too much more of that. And with that being said, you're still finding ways to run for 130 plus. I don't care how you do it. So if that's what you need to bring to being inside the short red and using that same kind of run game, do it. I don't care. But I don't sit here and say, man, this team can't run the ball. I don't know how they're going to do it. Is it going to have to maybe be a little bit funkier than most? Maybe, possibly. But they're showing you they can still get it done if you look at the final clip, and that's all I care about.
Well, I guess I want to ask you the question on this. Like the second part of his question is when you do get in the red zone, because Brian Kelly talked about it in his press conference after the game and again today about how they have to be more efficient scoring touchdowns in the red zone. They get there, but they're kicking more field goals than they want to, and they need to be more efficient. How do you do that, right? Like, what is if you're not going to be able to run it in? I want to ask you because you've been in there. If you're not going to be able to run it in, what's the way do you do that?
I really think the utilization of, or actually, one, Trey Green, obviously he's out now, but the ability for them to do more than just throw jump balls with him, to use him on the back line of that end zone, to use him running these in routes and stuff like that in the back part of the end zone where they can go face mask or higher with throws. That's a cheat code. You need that. You need that part of his game to come along. Same thing goes with Nick Anderson, the ability to start implementing him and using those things. And the last one, Chris Hilton. You need him in those spots. Like if you can start using those 3 guys in the red, then I think that offense really opens up in that situation.
Yeah. Chris Hilton's been a ghost.
They threw him.
They tried, but he's been a ghost.
And that was a play in which Nussmeier passed up.
He forced it to him.
Yeah, Bauer Sharp was underneath. You had Aaron Anderson rolling over the middle. Both were wide open right in front of him. He's like, I think there's parts of Nuss that are like, I want to get him going. I want to take the shot because you do realize who you're playing. And it's like, I'm going to throw one up. And he underthrew that one as well. Chris Hilton was in the air forever. Like, you can see the athlete in him. Like, if you put that higher than high, you give him an opportunity to at least come down with it.
No, he's athletic and he's super talented. It's just you've got to figure out how to make it work.
And this is what we talked about a little bit, Jared. It's like, can you have too many toys in the toy chest? Like you're using Xavier Thomas in a million different ways. He's throwing a pass. He's returning punts.
But I think they're using him to what?
Yeah, I know. I love the way they're doing it. But I talked to Rohan about this a little bit over the weekend, where it's like, at what point is it a gimmick or is this a staple of your offense?
Well, I mean,
I think, and I wonder at this point in the season. Let's be completely honest.
It's the only game 2.
Yeah, and I want this to be understood too. Even going to Clemson, and I know there was a high priority on winning the week. There's a high priority on what we've seen that 1-0 doesn't necessarily mean the start of the year. It is a weekly mantra what they're going by right now. So by no means am I sitting here saying that number 1 at the top of the list wasn't winning the game. But with there being so many toys in the toy chest, and with you feeling so good about your defense, which is pretty obvious because they have a damn good one so far, right? You wonder how much of this early part of the year mattered to them saying, let's make sure we show good. But in showing good, let's also find out what we have, who we got, and how can we use them going forward. Because
That's what it felt like to me.
Well, because you got to understand, like, this isn't outside of, like, the quarterback position on the offensive side of the ball. Obviously, you got Caden Durham back in year 2. I'm not saying that at all. But you know who's going to play that quarterback spot. Now you're trying to find, all right, these pieces that we have, how can we make sure we know what we got? That way when we get to week 3 and into the thick of the schedule, we know who we're going to use and how we're going to use them and being able to move that way. Like, I wonder how much of that conversation comes into their discussion on how they put together these game plans and how they've gone about everything that's preseason and on up to until now.
Well, that was my question, right? Like, how are they trying to fit the pieces in? It felt last week, it felt like that's what they were doing. They were trying to figure out who fit where, how can we utilize this, what works, what doesn't work, and trying to put the puzzle together and get ready for the schedule that they're about to face, right? And that's going to continue to be an ongoing thing. You'd hope to have it by Florida, right? But you would for sure hope to have it by the end of the month, right? By the time you play Ole Miss at the end of the month on the road, it's just you got a lot of options. You got a lot of players with a bunch of ability. Now, how can we mesh and put everybody in the right situation so that everybody is able to excel? That's what it feels like. I'm with you.
And to me, it felt like you had a certain game plan going into Clemson of get it out quick. You know what defensive line you're going up against. Like, let's scheme against that. Get the ball out quickly, run the ball, whatever you want to do. But it wasn't these long, like, 5-7 step drops against Louisiana Tech. It's like, let's get some of the – like, you didn't see Nick Anderson against Clemson. You didn't see Chris Hilton against Clemson. You see both of them against Louisiana Tech where it's like, let's also use this package to push it vertically. And it felt like whenever that didn't really work, and I do think there was and I know Jared's not going to like this at all, there's like a version of PTSD with Nuss whenever center goes down, you miss a deep ball, and it's intercepted. It's like, this is the one thing I was told not to do, and I'm trying to be perfect, and then it becomes like the next possession he came out, he double clutched and went like check down. And it's because I think he's somewhat coded because of he lost the job to Jaden Daniels. He was like, protect the football. It's like, it's in his brain. And then whenever it happens like that on a third that he knows he can make, I feel like he kind of was a shell of himself.
And here's what I want to push back a little bit to that. I understand that sentiment. I really do.
But you threw an interception.
I think that if he threw an interception where it was a complete misread and he tried to force it into a window that he probably knew he probably shouldn't have forced it into, okay, maybe get a little gun shy. He made the right read. The guy was open. He just made a bad throw. To me, that doesn't make you gun shy. That's just like, hey, don't be a fucking idiot. Make the throw the next time.
Thanks,
you know what I mean? Like, at least for me personally.
Don't say hello on the phone.
Like, at least for me personally, I knew that if I made the right decision, made the right throw, and I made a bad throw, that wouldn't make me gun shy. It would make me want to do it again and make it right. Now, if I made the wrong read and I tried to fit it into somewhere where I probably shouldn't have fit it into because I've done it before. It's like when you hit a golf shot. And it's like you're like 245 out, and you're like, well, I've gotten it there once or twice before. I can do it.
I'd like to do it.
Is it likely? No. But when you do it, you're like, damn, I'm really good. But the other 9 times you yank it into the water, you hit it way right out of bounds, right?
That was not the situation. This
was
wide open fairway.
He made the right read. He just made a bad throw.
Shank.
So to me, that doesn't make you gun shy.
That is the perfect way to speak about this. Think about it. When we sit back and if you play in a ball game and then you go back to watch film and I'm trying to coach you on what to do better, if the play's there and the look's there, if I got enough confidence to put you in a ball game, I'm expecting you to make the play. So at that point, I'm not trying to coach you out of wide open ass throws. What I'm trying to coach you out of is bad decisions, right? So the gun shy part of it, that usually doesn't come from, oh, there's a wide open play, I just didn't make the throw. It becomes, I'm trying to coach you out of making sure we're not throwing in double coverage, making sure we're not reading things wrong. But when it's open, throw that shit all day. So I don't think that that's where he's at in terms of those things at all.
Yeah, and look, 9 times out of 10 he's going to make that throw. It was a bad throw. I don't know why it was a bad throw. I don't know what happened. I don't know if the ball slipped. I don't know. But it was the right read. The guy was open, and if you ask him, he's like, that throw's got to be made. I make that throw all the time. But to your point, like if it was a bad decision and a bad read, that's when I feel like you would have gotten gun shy. But I'm pushing back a little bit on that just because of that's kind of what I would think about the gunshot stuff. So, but I think he's fine. I think you're going to see him play a lot better.
And there's
for this next weekend.
There's no Jared, I'm asking you. It wasn't it wasn't a situation in which he like expected Berrien Brown to do something different, right? It was just an underthrow.
Underthrow.
Yeah, it was just underthrow.
Okay.
I
just wanted to make sure, like scheme situation, and it's like, oh, I thought you would be maybe move this more up the seam. Okay.
No, it was an underthrow. Yeah, it was a straight up underthrow.
Because here's the deal.
And that's why I talked about it earlier, because I haven't really seen him miss on those type of throws that way. It was kind of surprising.
Yeah, I was whenever I saw it unfold, and I'm like, oh my god, here we go. Like
I stood up.
I was like, touchdown, and then he threw it, and I'm like,
I'm not gonna make it.
Wait a minute, what happened there? What happened?
I guess there's a world in which, like, there's things that can happen, like hurt my knee.
Would you get off that? I did hurt my knee when I was on the fucking tee box. Okay. I did.
It wasn't in the tee box. It was in the fairway.
No, it was a tee box, and then I felt it in the fairway. I was like, oh, I didn't feel good. Okay. Sprained MCL. All right.
Are you gonna be able to play next weekend?
Tweaked MCL. I fought through it though.
You did. Mentally tough.
Fought through it. But yeah, I really don't think there's anything that's going to hinder it.
I didn't realize I had to get it that far out there.
Yeah, right.
And I felt like I just put enough on it. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Like there's more in there, and I don't think it wasn't brought out because it was I don't have it. This hurts. I don't know if I can get to that. I think you just, like you said, you mistimed something like that, and you're like, oh, this is enough, and it's no. This is way short, and I think that's kind of where he was in that situation.
Yeah, I agree.
And you could also, like, if we're obviously we can make it. It's not really an excuse, but he hasn't played with him yet. Like Berrien Brown,
how fast? Speed?
Yeah, like that's a real thing to be able to like time up like game speed versus practice speed. Berrien Brown can fucking go.
Yeah,
you saw it whenever on the kick return they tried to do a fake one-sided kick. I don't know what they were doing, but he tracked that thing down. It was like
I thought he was gonna take it to the house. Yeah. That is exciting, though. Every time they punt it and they kick it, I'm like, somebody's going to take it to the house.
And that combined with the defense, it feels like I've been born again from 2003 to 2012.
Except you have a quarterback. You have a quarterback that can make the throws.
Well, Matt Mock.
Well, you had Matt Mock and Matt Flynn.
Yeah.
And you had Matt
Ryan
Berger. You had Matt Berger for that 1 year.
That didn't count.
I mean, that 1 year he made some throws.
Yeah,
and an offense that he had to make the great throws.
That's more of what I'm talking about. Yeah, let's run mirror routes with Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry. Thank God you have two-man
routes.
Yeah.
We're just going to run 2-man routes, and y'all just going to have to win.
You have to go win, and I'll throw it from the opposite hash to you.
And they won.
Until he didn't. Major Wright says hello.
Yeah, until he faced a team that has NFL guys, too.
Y'all know what they were doing. This is high school.
Yeah.
That said, you put Caleb Jackson and Les Miles' offense, he might win a Heisman.
But yeah, I don't like. I'm not worried about it. We're going to continue to talk all week about the LSU Florida matchup, especially on Wednesday. Let's talk a little bit about. Well, actually, before I get there.
Oh,
big game tonight.
You gonna take a dip?
Big game this weekend. It's the gold game.
Are they gonna wear the gold uniforms?
I hope not. The Saints tried that. Didn't work.
Inson's fire.
Yeah.
Alvin Kamara could look cool in a cardboard box.
Yeah, no doubt. But it's the gold game this weekend. If you don't have your gold attire, that's okay. I know a place where you can get it. That place is Alumni Hall, located in Perkins Road. They have everything that you possibly need to support LSU. It's a gold game, they got that. They got a purple game later in the year, they got that. If they have a playoff game and they decide to go wide out, they got that. Whatever you want, they got. They got hats, they got shirts, they got jerseys, they got stuff for kids, women,
a little chilly
men.
Today.
Huh?
A little chilly today.
Oh, hey, felt great. Maybe a little quarter zip. Maybe a little hoodie. They got Nike Air Maxes. They got the LSU 2025 Nike Air Maxes. If you're a bigger guy, they have big and tall attire. Everything that you need. If you're taller or bigger, whichever way you want, they got everything for you. They got all the sizes. They got all the brands that you could possibly imagine. What is this? Look at this.
Pull it up.
Look at this.
Pre-buy.
Pre-buy it. You can pre-buy stuff that just comes out. Look, they got all of
Bandits are out.
They got all of the latest drops. Bayou Bandits, the nickname for the defense for the linebackers. They got it. Everything that you possibly want, they have. Every brand that you can imagine. Nike, Champion, Columbia, Peter Millar, so much more. For every $150 you pay or you spend in Alumni Hall, you get $10 back in hall cash for your next visit. Right? So go out there, spend some money, get some money back, go and get a free something else, free hat, free belt, free overalls, whatever you may want. Go game this weekend. Go to Alumni Hall, located in Perkins Row. Tell them that Mik'd sent you, and they'll be extra nice to you.
Oh, yeah. Maybe, business expense. And save that hall cash because Jay Johnson don't sleep, don't quit.
Hey.
3 Tigers.
He just sneaks it in there, huh?
Game day.
On game day, no big deal. 3 Tiger emojis. Got 3 big commitments. It never ends for him. He's always working, obviously. We said, where's he going to be when he
He's not
when he got his extension?
Contract.
He was obviously recruiting. That's what he's doing. So 3 big commits for LSU.
So
As the season continues to progress, we're going to get some of these guys in to talk about the fall once that gets going.
Save that hall cash for an LSU baseball swings back around because it seems like they'll be good again.
Spend the money in the fall.
To save it
Use
for
the extra money in the spring.
Yeah, I'm sure Jay Johnson's real fond of that.
Well, I mean, not that way. Not that way. Talking about if you're going to purchase this at Alumni Hall.
Reallocate those funds.
Yeah. But yeah, we wanted to give a shout out to our newest sponsor, our partner, Alumni Hall. We're proud to be sponsors of them. Go support.
Go have a kid so you can get kid stuff.
I'm about to get a bunch of kid stuff.
Oh.
Hey. Did y'all watch the NFL? We talked about crazy college football weekend. NFL weekend was wild. They had outside of the Colts, which Danny Dimes,
Maybe back.
Danny Dimes.
So where was
I'm convinced.
Are we saying he's back or is he arriving?
I think he's arriving. I'm convinced. I'm convinced the Giants are just cursed. I mean, they got rid of him. He had one good year, get the big deal. He stunk after they got rid of him. Now he looks like he's Andrew Luck. He's going out there making throws.
Very efficient.
He is 38, scored 38 points or however many points he scored. I think they scored in every possession they had in the game. Absolutely dominate the game. I think that was really the only blowout of the weekend. If you think about it, every other game was a one-possession game. The witching hour. Hey, I watched Red Zone. Wasn't upset about it.
Okay, Pat McAfee I love him.
I'm not getting.
We can quit with this glazing of people being mad. Like, I get it.
I was gonna hate this.
I'm not jumping on, but I didn't know what to expect. We had 1 minute for 7 hours. They had 1 minute of ads
for now.
But what it was this weekend was not bad, and it was exactly what we anticipated it doing. It was like the golf. They just have it playing. They have
And YouTube's doing the same fucking bullshit.
We should start doing our show.
No, never. We don't do ads on this show.
The witching hour was wild. You had a bunch of one-possession games. You had a bunch of crazy games. Pittsburgh and the Jets game was wild. And then, and Jared, I know this hits home for you because Mo is probably yelling at the TV.
Is she a Rodgers guy now?
If they put on black and gold,
it's the Super
she's
Bowl.
in.
Hey.
She's in.
Jalen Ramsey could not have initiated himself to the Steelers fans any better than he did.
Ingratiated.
Endeared himself.
There you go.
That was his initiation too, maybe?
Yeah.
You could force that one in there.
Well, Cap 6 in trouble for that, so hold on.
Okay. Yeah.
Even when I'm wrong, I'm right.
But obviously, no.
Show me initiated.
Fourth and 2. Felt like maybe Fields could have ran for that, dropped it off. First down, caught Garrett Wilson, and then gets hammered.
Jalen Ramsey in the 7.
Game over, lose by 2. Obviously, the game last night was wild, outrageous game.
Yeah.
The last 3 MVPs in the NFL playing against each other. Lamar had 2. Didn't he get 2, and then Josh Allen got 1. Did he go?
Was it 2 in a row?
Did he go back to back?
I don't think so.
Maybe not. Okay, last 2 MVP guys.
Two MVP players.
Last 2 MVPs
MVPs
going up against each other,
them.
making plays. Derrick Henry doing something he doesn't ever do and fumble. Right? Just a wild deal. Down 15, end up winning the game, missed extra point. A lot of crazy things. The NFL season's got off to a great start. Saints had an opportunity to tie the game at the end of the game. They were better than I anticipated them being on offense. They didn't score a ton of points, but it wasn't like it was better than last year. Doesn't mean they're going to be good. It was just better than I thought it was going to be.
How about Derek Carr on the board?
Huh?
Do you see him do the whatever that shit is when you draw up plays?
Where?
I don't know, for some
the YouTube game, the Thursday or Friday night game. Yeah.
Oh, he's getting in the TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was on the same telecast with Tyron.
I'd rather see Tyron.
Yeah, I mean, look.
They both got on the board. They both did a little chop talk.
NFL season was.
Did you see the first thing he complained about?
Jack Besh got his first catch.
Saw that. Lon Phillips, shout out, tweeted it out. Did you see? He is sure everybody's giving him credit for whatever. He's like, would you want this defensive lineman breathing down your neck about to hit you? It's like, brother, what do you think you signed up for?
I mean, you knew what you're getting into.
You just want to hate him so bad, don't you, Lloyd?
Pussy. Go put your makeup on, brother.
Goodness.
But yeah, football's fully back. It's here. We're ready to go.
Last night was incredible. Y'all both fell asleep.
Last night's game was outrageous.
While y'all were sleeping, guess what I was doing?
Watching the game.
Give me Buffalo Bills money line down 15.
I tried to live bet. I told you I tried to live bet the Clemson game, but when I went to it, I was thinking, oh, they're down 16-3. I'm definitely going to get them plus money. They're still minus 150.
That's a great bet.
Clemson was minus 150 to win the game money line.
What do you think it was before the game?
No, I understand that. I wanted plus money, so I was like, and what did I get into? What did you say was going to happen? You're going to try a live bet, and you're going to have no money in your account. And I did not make a deposit. So I didn't live bet because
you could have won.
I had to wait for some games to win, so I had some more money in the bank. Yep.
This man's a crack addict.
Yep.
Where's my money?
Hey, but I'm prudent with it. I didn't put any more money in there.
Do you have money in the account now?
Yes, I do. I told you I got back even. So all the money that I put in there, I just got back. Actually, I lost like $10.
Okay, there we go.
I lost $10.
And there it is.
Because my last bet had to go more units than I wanted it to go. It was just I had to exhaust the money. That's what I told myself. And so it was $10 more than I normally bet on it, and I lost it. Okay? That's what happens.
Looking like a true gambler.
Did you bet LSU?
No, I got back to even.
Did not bet LSU.
He's gonna we're gonna look up, and one day it's gonna be Mikey, the $3 billion. I'm down 50.
But I'm on my way back.
Yeah, I'm not stopping.
I've done it before for $5. Remember last year? Last year. It was $5. I got down to the last $5. Brought all the way back up to $1,200.
Does Allie? Well, you're welcome. Does Allie get mad? Does she know?
I honestly don't bet a ton. I mean, I talk about it on here, but it's not like I'm betting like hundreds and thousands of dollars.
This is what liars sound like.
I don't. She knows what I bet. She knows I bet.
Would she be mad? Like, does she get mad that you're gambling again?
No.
Because
she knows I'm not like throwing out crazy amount of money.
Does she see your account too?
No.
Like, does it come out the card? Like,
No.
what's Caesar's?
No. I mean, I haven't made a deposit in a Caesars in 2
Boy,
years.
why are you trying to out the man right here? Jesus.
She don't listen to the show. I know that.
I hadn't put a deposit in Caesars in 2 years.
You've been living off the lamb.
She's living off the money I had
Me
in there.
too.
Which is good. I mean, I never got back down to zero. Almost got it this weekend, but didn't.
I'm proud of you putting it out there. We will get our parlay.
We're gonna
Slow
get
start.
We're close. We got close on 2. I missed 1. Jared missed 1. Lloyd has not. So we're all gonna make because Lloyd's gonna be hot.
My turn to miss.
Lloyd's gonna be hot. All right, Lloyd, you got a mistake of the day?
I do have a mistake of the day. I don't know if y'all have seen this. I mean, it's impossible not to. This Karen for the Phillies is one of the.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, who didn't see that?
I mean,
Yeah,
unbelievable.
but clearly a mistake of the day. But I just, it's not baseball. Like, football is in a full swing, and it's just I almost think it's fake. It feels like it was a little bit like this guy. Who is it? Give me a second. Bader just signed with the Phillies.
Harrison Bader, Florida guy.
Mm-hmm. And this happens, and now the kid gets the moment. It just feels a little bit weird that all of this happened. The dad seemed a little bit almost like an actor. Also, the other actor, that woman for the Chargers, is not real. The NFL, like she's in Brazil.
The little lady.
Yeah, the little Asian lady.
I'm gonna just go ahead and guess that the NFL probably paid for her to be there at this point. Somebody did, because you can find her at every Chargers game. Everything that makes anything Chargers, she's there.
But that it's not solely what you think of the NFL as a whole of like paid actors. So how far are we going to go with this? I'm starting to think that the NFL is deep state. They blow calls, they don't blow calls. It's very WWE, and I don't like it because don't tell me Santa's not real.
I thought we were getting to the mistake of the day.
Here it is. How it started. Look at this. But see, look at it as if it's an actor. That's not even his kid, I bet.
Oh, yeah, that looks weird. That looks fake.
See? Thank you.
When I did see that, like, the guy, when he acted super...
Why did you put it in the glove like that?
No, it wasn't even that. It was the way he reacted to the...
I knew you were coming, but I'm going to pretend like you didn't.
But I don't think it's an actor. It was a weird response.
And she's mean as hell. Good at her job. Look, here, take the ball back. Have it. Fine, bye. Like, this is all... I just don't believe that this would ever happen.
Oh, I do believe that would happen. 100%. She's obviously a diehard Phillies fan. You saw the jersey.
Yeah. I'm not that surprised that it happened.
No. But Harrison Bader, and the kid ended up winning. Getting, signed a bunch of signed gear, meeting Bader after the game.
Yeah.
The whole deal.
That's what makes me, it's what you should do, but it's good PR for baseball when they're in the midst of a lockout.
They're not going to be on a lockout next year.
That's great.
The lockout's not next year. They're like 3 years away from that.
Yeah, I'm just put, the hat stays on.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. They could have a strike. They're not going to do that.
They should hire her. She gets shit done.
All right, curtain call.
Curtain call is the one bright spot of the set. Very close game. Fun, right?
It was.
We all enjoyed it. I don't know why they continue to go with the UFC punch-out helmets, where it just feels like City Bar in Lafayette.
They had one here in Baton Rouge.
But you know what I'm talking about. That one's a little different. But with all that said, the one man that can make it look cool is Alvin Kamara, who scored the
first touchdown.
The 1,000th?
There you go.
1K touchdown in Saints history goes to Alvin Kamara.
They said it weirdly. It was like
it's hard to say.
1,000th scrimmage touchdown is what they called it. And the guy who was calling the game was like, "What's a scrimmage touchdown?" He was a player,
not a special.
I don't know who was calling. He goes, "We don't. NFL players don't call it scrimmage touchdowns." The guy and the main guy was like, "Oh, it's any touchdown that was scored
when the ball was hiked."
Yeah, and he's like,
"So I guess special teams."
And we don't call it scrimmage touchdowns. Yeah, because special teams count too. He goes, "It's just touchdowns. Like how many touchdowns are scored? That's a 1,000th touchdown scored."
Either way,
yeah.
Curtain call. Alvin Kamara made this not as bad as I thought. Was not a fan.
I mean, he always makes things look good.
Yeah, so it might just be him. But
also, how about the resurgence of Cam Jordan? 2 sacks.
How about the decapitation?
Early on too, huh?
Yeah. We got the juice early. Got to go to bed after. But can we not throw Chris Olave a swing pass and not block for him?
And then put him in concussion protocol? Is that what he was in?
Of course.
Did he have a concussion?
Well, I'd assume.
I hope not.
He has more than he doesn't.
I hope not.
But we could throw that to anybody else.
Yeah.
It was who was it? Sheldon Brown and Reggie Bush.
Yep, they talked about that too.
Did they?
Yep, they brought that up in the broadcast.
Man, I need to put a resume out. Maybe get my LinkedIn up.
But yeah, shout out to Alvin Kamara, 1,000th touchdown in Saints history.
I like that one.
Yeah, Jay, you got one?
Good one to start. Yeah, I mean, for me, it was just football this whole weekend. Like, it was all great, wasn't it? Like, you got a chance to, like, if you watch the Saints play, or what you would probably think, or a lot of people were thinking of the Saints, is it wasn't going to be anywhere like near competitive. They played a competitive ball game. Obviously, they didn't lose. You got early on in the first window, you got that Pittsburgh and the Jets game. That was a great ball game. If you stayed up last night, you got another great ball game. I missed the last part of it because I fell my ass asleep, thinking for sure when it's 40-25, there's just no chance they're coming back.
Yep.
I'm literally the last, I think, 3 minutes and 45 seconds, missed it. After Derrick Henry ran the long touchdown, missed it. Woke up to see him.
Me too.
Damn.
They won. How they won? How'd that happen? So what we got was football is as back can be, and it was great to have it. You got your full Saturdays, you got your full Sundays, you got your Monday love, you got some Thursdays.
You gonna play on Tuesday too?
It feels like this Monday night game is gonna be good. Chicago Bears just scored a touchdown. J.J. McCarthy's NFL debut, believe it or not.
To whom?
I don't know. I did not see who scored. I was watching him drive, kind of, but then I didn't see.
Was it Jets or was it Hawkinson? I had Hawkinson first
No.
touchdown.
The Bears scored.
Oh, was it Odunze? I had him too.
I don't know. Odunze did make a good catch on the sideline early, in the drive, so I don't know who scored though. But yeah, kudos to football because football has been.
Did you see obviously the Bills? Y'all didn't see it. Y'all are old, I guess. I sleep too. It happens.
Yeah, during the day when you need to answer the phone, I know we get it.
Did I see the Bills? What?
Jared?
Did I see the Bills? What?
We on you.
Yeah, I know. I'm just not gonna do it. This is who I am. I'm a dick, I guess. First home game in the Bills' new stadium, and then Dalton Kincaid and Knox singing "Mr. Brightside" with the crowd was electric.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. That could be a current call too. I didn't see
That's
that.
what I was gonna give you.
Also, I got one though. Also, did you see the last kick? Should have been blocked. Like, thought it was going to be blocked. Saints blocked the kick, but they whiffed it and ended up being the walk-off. Matt Prater just got signed on Thursday to win the game. That could also be a curtain call. But my curtain call is staying on the football.
Yeah, this is awesome, too.
It's almost like the script was written. And it was like, hey, we're going to do all this drama. You're going to get traded to the you're going to get traded to the Green Bay Packers. And Jerry Jones is saying, oh, we're going to be better. We need to stop the run. They did not stop the run. They didn't get any pressure. They didn't look good on the defensive side.
That's not true. That's not true.
What?
That's not a true stat.
What?
They did get pressure. I think the Dallas Cowboys either led or was second in
pressure
rate.
You did. They did. They did get pressure.
And a loss.
But they said that they were going to be – Jerry
point.
Jones was saying that they were going to be better without Micah Parsons. Well, Micah Parsons didn't even play the entire game. Played as a role guy because he just got there. And you saw the first play he got in the game. That was not it. That was his first sack as a Packer. But the first play he got in there, he absolutely dominated the right tackle for the Lions, who's a Pro Bowler. Gets in there, moves Jared Goff off the spot, and he has to throw it away. Doesn't complete the pass. Absolutely wreaked havoc on the game. And so my curtain call is just to the fact that all this drama happened, and it just played out. If you're watching football and you're a fan of football and you're like, damn, Cowboys traded off one of their really good players to the Green Bay Packers, I would imagine the Packers defense is going to get better, and it's gonna be a reward for them. And it happened the way that you would anticipate. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen like that all year. I think he's a great player. Shout out to Micah Parsons, the Green Bay Packers, for living up to the hype in the first week.
Also, not a great look for Man Campbell, losing your offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator.
Yeah, that was tough.
That was tough. Coach O vibes were there.
That was tough.
Is it though? Like, is that not?
Scored 6 points.
13. They scored a touchdown at the end.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah,
look, I think they're gonna be fine. I just think that it was just not a good first. Obviously, you lose your offensive coordinator is not a good first game.
I did see something he said a couple days ago. I think this was probably a quote he put out there, but I think his first game coaching there, they were 0-9 to start, and I think those guys were coordinated at the same time. Like, that stuff kind of takes a little bit of time, and it's not just turnover and go,
Correct.
Especially when you're losing a guy like that and you're kind of entrenching guys who have not been in that spot before. Like, I'm not that surprised, right? I think there was another team who had the Lions pass game coordinator, as I forget who it is, that he's now their offensive coordinator, and that offense looked way better. So, like, I'm not that surprised, but it's also the NFL season. Like, there's 17 of them, right?
Right, and it's the first game of the season. I think they're going to be. I mean, they're too talented on offense not to be good. I think it's just same thing. LSU's trying to figure out the chemistry in the mix and having a new play caller and trying to figure out that rhythm. But yeah, obviously,
also,
having the number one offense in the league and then not having the guy leave and then not, there's going to be some learning curve to that.
And then you had a week to prepare for Michael Parsons.
Right.
It doesn't help. Like,
Yeah.
oh shit.
Right.
One's coming.
Right.
Damn.
Correct. That was not in the game plan initially. Now it is.
Did you see him do
And he
that?
also had no clue how much he was going to be playing either.
Exactly.
So got him on the field, and he wasn't tired because
Also,
he was ready.
Did y'all hear whenever they brought him on the field?
Yeah.
How awesome that should. I was trying to find that video. I didn't have time to find it, but that was pretty awesome.
And I also love the you see him do the step back jumper, and he had no idea what was going on, and he's like, okay, I'm new here, guys. Give me a second.
But yeah, it was. I think that was a successful first game for him.
It was worth the picks, that's for sure.
No doubt. No doubt.
So far.
All right. Is this it?
Stopped after only a couple and coming out for third down and a passing down, and it appears to be for the Lions.
We're going to get in trouble for this?
Parsons on the field at Green Bay for the first time in the
That's pretty awesome.
All right, that's enough.
It's pretty awesome. Pretty cool.
But it's unfortunate for me that all I think of when I see Lambeau is LSU. But we're gonna change the offense. First play toss down.
I don't think about LSU at all when I think of Lambeau. I forgot about that a long time ago.
Tre'Davious White, shout out.
Long time ago.
Buffalo, they love LSU. Kyle
Yeah,
Williams, Tre'Day White.
Yeah, they do.
They should. They're the same people, and so is Philly. The people that are just addicted to
just
they
sports.
can't control.
Yeah, no doubt. Diehards. No doubt. All right. That's all we got for you on this beautiful Monday night. Enjoy the rest of Monday Night Football. We'll see you live in studio on Wednesday from 6 to 8-ish.
Ask Mikey and Mitch on Wednesday.
Ask Mikey and Mitch on Wednesday. We're going to obviously promote it on socials, but put some questions in the chats when you're watching, and then put some questions on socials but ahead of time so we can get to you first. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you can't watch us, but you like listening to us or anywhere you get your pods. We appreciate the love and support. Thank y'all. See you on Wednesday. Enjoy your Monday. Enjoy this beautiful weather. Unbelievable weather this morning. Hopefully it does it again tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Let me see you Wednesday. Peace.
Hold on.
You're having a show.
Yeah.
Hey.
Do it to him. Do it to him. Do it to him.
Got the fireworks.
2-0, 3-0, 1-0.
Deuces.